Welcome back to Chamber Exchange, a TV show. I want to thank Bank Hometown, our sponsor, for making it happen. We just had the leadership from Bank Hometown, Rob Martin and Mike Malkert, who are from Bank Hometown. I want to thank them. And thrilled to have with us in this segment, Gauri Bhalakia, who is the president of ARCpoint Labs of Southboro-Framingham. Welcome, Gauri.
Thank you so much for having me.
So ARCpoint Labs, maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself and ARCpoint Labs.
Sure. First, I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you for having me here. We are very excited to be the new members of the Worcester Chamber of Commerce. We are very excited to participate in the chamber activities. So a little about myself. I came to this country, to the United States, about 30 years ago. I believe it was January of 1992. And I've lived in Massachusetts for the past 16 years. Before that, my husband and I lived in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. I have a business background, and most of my career has been in the semiconductor industry, in the product management area. But I've always wanted to open my own small business. And I've also been a stay-at-home mom for a number of years when my daughter was young.
Maybe the hardest job you had.
Yes, I completely concur. And as she grew older and went to school, I started to think about my dream of starting my own business. And I opened the doors about 5.5 years ago. I live with my husband and daughter in Southboro, Massachusetts.
Okay, and ARCpoint Labs, and you say, that entrepreneurial spirit you had worked, in business in a variety of different ways, but specifically ARCpoint Labs has a particular mission.
Absolutely. So it's ARCpoint Labs is a franchise. It has got about 110 locations around the country, and I own the location here in Massachusetts. They are all independently owned and operated, and they do have a mission. They they believe in providing easy access to testing to businesses and local communities, whether it is employment-based testing or wellness testing services. So we really make it easy for businesses and individuals to work with us.
And the types of testing that you provide are what?
Sure. So we provide a very comprehensive testing menu for small, medium, and large businesses for their employment needs. So when someone onboards a new employee, we provide pre-employment drug testing. We provide...
Because there's a whole host of jobs that require that.
Absolutely.
And you don't want, as a business owner, have to worry about that. They could contract with you and you provide that service.
Completely correct. And we actually make it very easy for these small, we are local, and it is very easy for us to work with local businesses because we know their needs, and they are mandated companies that fall within one of the agencies for the Department of Transportation, and they have specific regulations on when they need to be tested, how they need to be tested, and the time frames that they need to be tested. And we are really experts in that field. We provide compliance support to these companies. They can pick up the phone and call us, and then we provide pre-employment drug testing, random testing, post-accident, as well as reasonable suspicion testing services. And one of the unique features of being local is that we provide 24/7 on-site support in case of a post-accident. For example, if a DOT vehicle gets into a post-accident and they need someone to be tested, they can call us up and we'll be there. And we've been there at various local businesses at 1 a.m. in the morning doing post-accident testing services. So we do provide that local support.
Right, and that responsiveness is obviously critical, but the other piece and word that you used was compliance, because for many of these companies that are required, you mentioned the Federal Department of Transportation and others, having that compliance to paperwork showing that you're doing it. If your job is focused on shipping from point A to B, compliance is not your best skill, so you provide that.
Absolutely. Actually, I was sitting in the lobby right now talking to an employer, and they wanted to find out whether their driver who had gotten into an accident, was it a DOT accident or a non-DOT accident, because there are specific regulations that govern that. And we really provide that compliance support. They can call us up anytime, ask us questions, and we steer them in the right direction.
Right. And you had mentioned also kind of health testing and others, some services there?
Absolutely. So we provide access to both clinical as well as wellness testing services. So anywhere from food sensitivity test, micronutrient tests, health panels for male and female health panels. But specifically during this COVID era where, pandemic hit local businesses really hard, we have provided COVID-19 testing to local businesses. And right from the beginning of the pandemic, we have provided COVID-19 testing solutions to local businesses, nonprofits, individuals, and we have gone on-site, done surveillance testing, and hope in a small way kept the businesses open and the community safe.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that, continues. I mean, I know that there was some thinking that, as the vaccine was developed and more companies adopted it, whether it be Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, or Pfizer, that the need for ongoing COVID testing would not be necessary. In fact, that's really not the case. We want to continue to encourage people and businesses to test, even if they've been vaccinated, because we've seen breakthrough, and it's all about trying to quarantine and quickly separate people.
Absolutely right. And there have been breakthrough cases. Also, you must have heard about the possibility of a federal mandate for companies that employ 100 employees or more to possibly get, either they would have to mandate vaccines, but during a time where staffing has been a big issue for companies, hiring has been a big issue, letting go of employees who might not want to get vaccinated is a big problem for companies. So they might want to then, if this passes, have a weekly testing program. And we're already working within our organization to set up testing programs and make it really easy for the companies to do this.
And that's really important. I mean, I think any employer, has dealt with this, is that you want to encourage people to get tested if they haven't got the vaccine, or even if, because of the breakthrough cases that happen, though they're rare.
Yes.
They have to take a day, you have to try to find places, you have to book times. You can work with the company to kind of schedule that so there's less intrusion on productivity.
Right.
Come to the employer place. Those are all things that you can do.
Absolutely, we can do that, and we talk to businesses all the time and find out what's their comfort zone. How would they like to have their employees tested with minimum disruption, and then we make it happen. That's really our forte, is to provide that local support.
So Gauri, we just have a minute or two left. I want to, we're getting a lot of good information out there in terms of the services that you provide, but if someone is interested in contacting you, if there's a business owner or someone out there, you said individualized testing as well, how could they reach you and the ARCpoint team?
They can Google us. We are online, ARCpoint Labs of Southboro-Framingham. We are actually planning to open a second office here in Worcester in the coming months, so we will have that ready for them as well. And they can always call us up. Our phone number is on our website, and we always pick up the phone. You will never get click one for this or click two for that. A person will pick up the phone and will be ready to help.
Right, and so 24/7, and sounds like quite a team. Well, Gauri Bhalakia, who is the president of ARCpoint Labs of Southboro-Framingham, and soon to open a Worcester office. Thank you for what you're doing in terms of, especially during this crisis, and helping businesses, and thanks for telling your story.
Thank you so much for having me.
And stay right with us. We're going to come back for our final segment of Chamber Exchange, a TV show brought to you by Bank Hometown.
Since 1889, Bank Hometown has stepped up to bat for our neighbors. In the past 5 years, we've donated $1.3 million to local organizations that help enrich lives and bring people together. And we're not stopping there. We're always looking to tackle the challenges of today and fuel the leaders of tomorrow. No matter how life changes over the years, we'll continue to show up for our neighbors, for our communities, and for you. Bank Hometown. Unlock your potential.
Worcester, a city with heart, history, and promise. A hub of innovation in life sciences, education, and healthcare. Home to multi-generational families, first-generation citizens, and next-generation baseball and hockey greats. Home to great parks, world-class museums, theaters, and restaurants. Worcester, the place to visit, to invest, and to call home.
This is Radio Worcester. Local talk, local news, local events. We got it, and we've got opinions that you're going to want to hear.
That Worcester will be thought of and spoken about.
We're live every morning, 6 to 10 a.m., and if you can't catch us then, you can find us online, day and night, at radioworcester.com. This is your town. This is your morning show. Talk of the Commonwealth with Hank and Ben.